कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोधानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुनतीरावनचारि यमुनतीरावनचारि जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी. Apologies for the late start. We'll get it started. श्रीशैलेश दयापातं धीभक्त्यादि गुणार्णवं यतीन्द्र प्रवणं वन्दे रम्मजामातु मुनिं लक्ष्मीनाथ समारंभां नादयामुन मध्यमम् अस्मत् आचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां यो नित्यमच्युतं पदाम्बुज युग्म रुग्म व्यामोहतस्तत्तितत्तिराणि प्रणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य तयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य शरणो शरणं प्रपद्ये. We gathered here today on a special occasion of Sripad Ramanujacharya's disappearance day. Few of us, our friends, have asked us to speak on this particular topic today, starting from our Prahlad, Ramacharya Prabhu, and Adi Shakti Mataji. They all requested me to speak on this particular topic. Before Ramanujacharya appeared into this world, there was a lot of different preaching that was going on, where they used the Vedas, but then started saying that the Vedas teach us about, mostly about, or all about the Lord who is formless, Lord who doesn't have any attributes, Lord who doesn't have any names, and also Lord doesn't have knowledge. Lord is made of knowledge, but he doesn't have knowledge. That's a school of thought. And then also there was other school of thought where the rishis and munis have written this Mahabharata and Ramayana. These are just made up stories. It's not necessarily true stories. The rishis and munis have written, but it's just made up stories. Therefore, you don't have to take it seriously. That's another school of thoughts. Another school of thought is this avatars comes and goes, is just imaginary stories. That's also not real. And besides these things, there were other people who were thinking or were saying that God really doesn't exist. It is just some sort of a belief and understanding. Therefore, we don't need to really trust on the spiritual aspect. We just have to understand that life is one time, therefore enjoy the life. That's all. So the various schools of thoughts. And also some people, they say that the temple, the deities at the temple are just stones and metals, and not that is a really God. They're just a form of something that have people who cannot survive themselves. They depend on some supernatural power, and they call that as God. So all those different schools of thoughts were going around in those times. The Lord himself appeared into this world, took many different avatars. Nothing worked. The Lord sent the great saints called Alvars, and they are all they appeared here to teach about the truth of what Vedas teaches, God, Jivatma, and Paramatma, and so forth. But then nothing worked. Therefore, if you want to if you're really close to someone, what you do is you give the best that you have with you. How many of you have offered or given your bedroom to someone, the master bedroom? There are some exceptions here. Generally, how many of you are comfortable giving your bedroom to those people whom you don't know? Now, raise your hands. You've given that also? Yeah. Oh, if you have only one room, there's no option for you then. So generally, you don't give these because generally people like to be in the private, have their bed. They like to have the bed and sleep on their bed, whatever it may be. But you offer the bedroom and bed only to those, especially they are very special for you, not otherwise. That means you'd sacrifice your own bed to someone else. That means they're very special. Yes? The Lord decided in the Vaikuntha, he decided, I got to do something right now. So I'm going to do a very big sacrifice. Sacrifice is going to give my bed to this world to bring them back to me. And especially if you have, especially if you have a bed which is soft, white, pure white, and which is silky, and which has nice fragrance and cool. This is the nature of the bed, how the bed should be. Such a bed, Lord had such a bed, and he's been sleeping on this bed for all the time. He likes to sleep on this bed. But then he decided the only way that I can reclaim the fallen conditioned soul is by offering my bed to them. And that bed is none other than Anantasesh, Adishesh. The Adishesh appeared into this world as Sripad Ramanujacharya. Our Ramanujacharya is none other than Adishesha. He appeared in 1017, and he lived for 120 years. Anyone who lives for 120 years, they said they completely lived for the entire man's life. He lived for 120 years. He was born to Asuri Keshava Perumal and Kantimadi, his mother Kantimadi, Asuri Keshava Perumal, in a place called Sri Perumbudur, which is those who have gone to Madras, Chennai. It is not too far from Chennai. It's just 45 minutes drive or 1 hour drive, Sri Perumbudur. Nice place, nice temple there. When he was born into this world, by the way, the idea of today's presentation is we are going to not go through all the details of how he born, what he born, and etc. But we're going to see all those things. But we are going to learn lessons from all these small stories. I'm going to cover. The plan is to cover 24 stories. Don't get afraid. We'll finish it. 24 stories. It's all going to be small stories. But out of 24 stories, we are going to get 24 lessons out of it. And you'll be very surprised to see the lessons that majority of the lessons that we are going to learn today is connected to Rukmini's marriage of yesterday's. If you heard attentively yesterday, the whole Rukmini Kalyana marriage gave us a very important message to us at the end, that we are all Jivatmas. When the Jivatma is having a sincere desire to attain Krishna, Krishna sends a guru in our life, and gurus on behalf of us goes and speaks to Krishna to accept us. And that's exactly the whole tattva or philosophy of Rukmini Kalyan. And therefore, in today's thing also, today's Ramanuja's glories also, in the lessons, majority is going to speak about how guru is important, how devotees are important, how serving devotees are important. All those things we are going to see. Therefore, Sripad Ramanujacharya appeared. When he appeared, his maternal uncle, that is his mother, Kantimadi, his older brother, mother's older brother, he comes, and then he gives a name to Ramanujacharya. His name was Ilaya Perumal. Ilaya Perumal. Ilayalvar. Ilayalvar means is another name of Lakshmana, because Lakshmana is none other than incarnation of Adishesha. Chendral Kudayam, Irundal Singhasanamam, Nindral Maravadiyam. That means Lakshmana takes Adishesha, Lakshmana, Balaram, they all takes up the entire service of the Lord. Whether he sits, when Lord wants to sit, he becomes as a throne to sit. If he wants to walk, Adishesha, Lakshmana turns into the Padakas. If Lord wants to walk further and walk on the street, he becomes an umbrella. So Lakshmana is the ideal example of a servitude, taking up all the services. Therefore, Ramanujacharya was appearing with all these wonderful features. Therefore, Tirumalai Nambigal is the maternal uncle of Ramanujacharya, who comes and gives the name Ilayalvar, which means, that's a Tamil language word, Ilayalvar, it's Lakshmana's in short. So he appeared to give the right interpretation of Vedanta, and Ramanuja appeared to give bhakti to the people, and Ramanuja established a lot of work. He wrote a lot of literary work. He also established a deity worship. If you want to learn deity worship, it's all coming from them. In fact, in our Gaudiya Sampradaya, Gopala Bhatta was from Sri Sampradaya. And the deity worship that we are following is actually a version of what Sri Sampradaya follows. And you also want to get rid of all this unnecessary philosophy that's going around at that point of time, that God doesn't have form, God doesn't have name, all those different things. You want to establish God is a person. God is true. He has name, he has attribute, he has qualities, he has place. He has knowledge too. Not only is made of knowledge, he has knowledge too. And he wants to establish all these things. That's why Ramanuja appeared. That's a short background of Ramanuja's appearance. We don't want to go through a lot of details about how he went to school and so forth. He learned from Yadav Prakasha. His first guru was Yadav Prakasha, but then unfortunately, Yadav Prakasha was coming from the Advaita school of thought. And there's a lot of beautiful conversation that takes from Yadava Prakasha and Ramanujacharya on a philosophical background. Ramanujacharya did not agree some of this thing Yadava Prakasha was interpreting on the Vedanta philosophy. There was a lot of conversation. We have covered this in our Flavor of Vaishnavism series. Those who are interested, they can go to the channel and look for Vishishta Advaita philosophy. There I've covered in detail about the birth and all the details about Ramanujacharya. So I'm not going to skip all those things which I've already covered in the past. Therefore, we are going to go straight into stories now. We'll start with the first story. Stories means not a big stories, all nuggets, small nuggets. That's how I wanted to present this one. For us to get God's mercy, we would not definitely get God's mercy without the kataksham or the glance or the mercy of Guru. The Guru has to give his mercy first so that we can get the mercy of the Lord. It is not otherwise possible. It's not easy to get. Therefore, when Ramanujacharya was a student at Yadava Prakasha in the place called Kanchipuram. Kanchipuram is also very close to Sri Perumbudur, Kanchipuram. And in Kanchipuram, there's a beautiful temple called Varadaraja Perumal. It's one of the 108 divine Divya Desham, one of the temple. So he was going in the school of Yadav Prakasha, and over there at the time Alavandar was a great saint. He is comes under the Sri Sampradaya, who was guru of Ramanujacharya. In the Guru Parampara, Alavandar was there. Alavandar is none other than, if you're not familiar with this word, Alavandar is none other than Yamunacharya. Have you heard of Yamunacharya? He is Alavandar. Yamunacharya, Stotra Ratnam. He has written a beautiful stotra called Stotra Ratnam. Prabhupada also quotes a few verses from Stotra Ratnam. Anyway, Alavandar came to see one of his disciples over there. Tirukkachi was another disciple of Yamunacharya. Tirukkachi Nambigal. The names may be a little difficult. Just hear it. Doesn't matter. But Tirukkachi Nambigal, a service for Varadaraja temple, or Lord Varadaraja, is to do the chamra fan. That's all he does all the time. And the special thing about Tirukkachi Nambigal is anyway, if you don't know to remember Tirukkachi Nambigal, which is a long name, Kanchipurna. If you had heard about Kanchipurna is Tirukkachi Nambigal, in Tamil version of the name. So excuse me, I'll try to remember and try to tell the name that you're familiar with. If not, just hear that. What did I say? Kanchipurna. The Kanchipurna service is to fan the Lord. And the interesting thing is, he is such a great devotee, he have conversation with Varadaraja. Varadaraja is none other than the Lord Vishnu, Krishna. He will have conversation with the Lord when he was doing fanning. So Alavandar, Yamunacharya, once he comes to see his disciple, as he was going through this, having conversation, Kanchipurna will tell, there's one boy here, is very, very brilliant. Very brilliant. Even when you see this boy, you can see he's somehow descended from the spiritual world. So he was giving all the description of that one particular boy to Yamunacharya. He said even he was defeating and talking and giving beautiful commentaries on Vedanta in that age to Yadav Prakasha. By the way, Yadav Prakasha is well known, a great scholar in Advaita philosophy. So he was like, then Yamunacharya said, really, I want to see that boy. He was a young boy. I want to see this boy. Well, he will show you who this boy. At the same time, Yadav Prakasha with all his disciples was coming to the temple, Varadaraja temple, which a big gang. As he was coming, he said, this is Yadav Prakasha. Okay, where is that guy? Where is that boy? Yamunacharya, where is that boy? You see that with a long hand and brilliant face, with shikha and beautiful eyes and fair complexion. You see that boy is uniquely seen, easily can be identified. That is Ilaya Alvar. Ramanuja comes later. The name Ramanuja comes later. Is Ilaya. For us to understand, let's keep Ramanuja. That is Ramanuja. And then at that point of time, Yamunacharya's eyesight fall upon Ramanujacharya. That's it. Ramanujacharya has been blessed. So many times the lesson that we learn from this short story is that many times we try to get the attention of Guru in some or the other. We don't need to work so hard. Don't try to come in front of him like this, try to do all those things. And none of these things is really needed. One time, if your guru was seen one time, you have to value that kataksham, that side glance of our guru. We don't want to underestimate the guru's thing 100 times. I have to come in front of him. We don't need to do this. A simple lesson. One time, if you've been seen by your guru, your life is success. You don't need to go in front of him, all sort of dramas. We don't need to do any of these things. Lesson 1. Story over. As easy as I told you, it's a simple story. One point of time, second story. One point of time, Ramanujacharya, Ilayalvar, he had some doubts in his mind. So he wants to clarify some of his doubts. So he was thinking whom to ask. So he knows this person. He was very close to Kanchipurna. They were very, very good, had a good relationship. Even though Kanchipurna, elderly by age, Ramanujacharya were young, they had a good relationship. So he went to Kanchipurna and said, "My dear sir, Kanchipurna, I have some doubts in my mind." He didn't even say what the doubts are. He said, "I have some doubts in my mind. Can you find some answer from Varadaraja?" Not from co-pilot, from Varadaraja directly. And interestingly, Kanchipurna did not ask him back, "Tell me the question, let me write it down." He didn't even ask. He said, "Okay, I'll go now." How is that possible? Right? So it's interesting. The reason is because who's the Lord within the heart? Is same. Varadaraja is present in everyone's heart. That's Lord. If you don't know the meaning of Varadaraja, Varam Tatati iti Varadaha. That means the one who bestow all the mercies and blessings and benediction that his devotees wants. That is called Varadaraja, the king who can give all the benediction. Now you can appreciate the name Varadaraja. Right? So he went in front of the Varadaraja, and then as usual, he was fanning the Lord. And then Lord, it looks like you have some questions for me. Varadaraja said, "Lakshmi, I didn't have questions. Looks like Ramanuja has some questions. Okay, go and tell him these are the answers for his questions." See how the conversation is. 6 points he says. So this is a second thing for us to understand. Ahameva param tattvam, number 1. Ahameva param tattvam. Second one, darshanam veda evacha. Third one, upeyeshu prapatyatvat. Fourth one, antima smriti varjanam. That's fourth one. Fifth one, dehavasana muktyatvat. Sixth one, purna acharya samshaya. These are the 6 things as an answer to Ramanujacharya's doubt. Varadaraja directly gave this answer to Kanchipurna. Kanchipurna takes this answer and conveys a message to Ramanuja. Ramanuja is satisfied, but we are not. We don't understand anything what's been told now so far. So let's go through real quickly here. Ahameva param tattvam means Varadaraja is telling, I am the absolute truth. There's no second one. There's no equal to me. There's no upper than me. Everyone is subordinate to me. Ahameva param tattvam. That's easy to understand. Aham eva, I am the one who's param tattvam. Param means supreme. Tattvam means absolute truth. Over. Second one, darshanam veda evacha. This is Visishta Advaita philosophy, where it says Jivatma and Paramatma are separate. It's not one. It's not that there's only one Atma. Jivatma, there's only one Atma, that is one cosmic energy or whatever you call it, that's one identity. If nothing else exists. But Varadaraja, Krishna directly comes from his mouth. That's not what he's saying is that Tattvam is 2. That is, there's Jivatma, many, and Paramatma is 1. And their relationship is eternal relationship, which cannot be broken. That is a philosophy, second, which is pretty much very, very close to what our teachings are. Therefore, in Gaudiya Sampradaya, in our philosophy, Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva, you can see it's pretty much very close to Sri Sampradaya philosophy. It's more than Madhvacharya's philosophy to say. I don't want to get into too much philosophy, even though we are Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Sampradaya, but our thing is very close to Ramanuja Sampradaya. Of course, there are differences also there. Again, if you're interested, please go to Flavors of Vaishnavism series, and we have discussed all the differences there. Now, Upeyeshu Prapatyate, the only way that you can attain God is by Sharanagati, by surrendering to God. There is no other means, no other means, no other means. One has to surrender to God. That's the only way. No other yoga system is going to help anyone. That's number 3. Antima Smriti Varjanam. What did Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 8th chapter? He says, at the time of death, if you want to come to me, you better remember me. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tvadetyante kalemam. Where Varadaraja says that at the time of death, you don't need to remember me. What a beautiful thing. You don't need to remember aham smarami mat bhaktaha. Rather, I will remember you, provided throughout your life you have done service. Not that you did nothing, I'm going to remember you. You do something, at the time of death, you're not able to remember me for whatever situation of the life is. You fall into coma, you got into accident, you are in whatever the problem is, no problem, I will remember you. Therefore, remembering me at the time of death is optional. It's a big relief for most of us, right? Antima Smriti Varjanam. Dega Avasana Muktitvat. And it's guaranteed when you leave this body in this lifetime, this instruction is giving to, answer is giving to Ramanujacharya. When you leave this body this time, there's no second life for you, you come back to me. And the last instruction, now therefore, go and take initiation from someone. Purnacharya. So you have to go to Acharya and take initiation. That's the thing. Second story over. Therefore, it's important for us to understand these things, 6 points, and everything starts from the initiation. Unless and until we take initiation, we are not going to be serious. We are not serious. Krishna is not going to be serious on us. Let's move on to the third story. Now that Ramanujacharya, now Ramanujacharya is married, and there are many incidents happen in between Kanchipurna, and there's a clash happen. Many things happen. I'm skipping all those things, moving on to some stories which you might have not heard before. That's all. I'm trying to see some of the important stories. What happened? Ramanujacharya, and the Periya Nambigal, one of the disciple of Yamunacharya tells that Yamunacharya is going to leave his body. At that time, he wants to meet with Ramanujacharya. So immediately one of his disciples goes to Kanchipuram, try to bring Ramanujacharya. While he's trying to bring Ramanujacharya, at that point of time, by the time he arrives to Srirangam, near Kaveri river, by the time he reaches there, Yamunacharya left to the spiritual world. At that time, Ramanujacharya was feeling himself miserable, very sad, and he was cursing himself for whatever thing of his karma is that he couldn't get initiated by Yamunacharya. But again, there's a few more stories about when Ramanujacharya died. His 3 fingers was fold and all those things. I'm going to skip those things. There are a lot of details to it. We are moving to further thing. At the time, what happened? Tirukkachi Nambigal, we are going to the Tirukkachi Nambigal story, where he comes back to Srirangam, when the Srirangam, Hare Krishna, Srirangam, and when Kanchipurna was invited to his house. You all know the story. Kanchipurna was invited to his house, but then Ramanujacharya was married at the time. His wife did not really respect the Vaishnava the way that she has to respect the Vaishnava. Therefore, Ramanujacharya became very, very upset about it. At that point of time, he decided to quit the Grahastha ashram, take up sannyas. At that point of time, from Srirangam, they all decided we need to get Ramanujacharya to get back to Srirangam, because we need the Acharya to the Mat. Someone has to be the head of this thing. And already Alavandar, that is Yamunacharya, has appointed Ramanujacharya to be the next head of the Sampradaya. He's already decided that one. Therefore, they sent a messenger where they have to go and bring Ramanujacharya right on the spot over there. Yeah. 1 second. So we saw 3 stories, and then we have moved on to 4 stories where the Vaishnava Kanchipurna was disrespected, but then that dissatisfied Ramanujacharya. Therefore, Ramanujacharya was not happy. He left the house. That means the great acharyas what they are looking in us is that we respect the devotees. Vaishnavas should be respected. That's another lesson we learned from this one. And Ramanujacharya, Yeah. At that point, Ramanujacharya was being called by the disciples of Yamunacharya to come to Srirangam. At that time, Periya Nambigal, there was one of the disciple of Alavanda, Periya Nambigal. He was coming to bring Ramanujacharya from Kanjipuram back to Srirangam. He was coming at the time. Ramanujacharya also was coming towards Srirangam. They both were coming. They left the place. He left Srirangam, he left Kanchipuram. They were coming to a place. When they come in between, they met. At the point of time, Ramanujacharya said that, Periyanamigal said that, I came here to take you to Srirangam. We need you there to continue the service of what Yamunacharya did. Please come back. And then at that point of time, he said, and also there's an instruction that I need to initiate you. Periyanamigal said, I need to initiate you, and let's go back to either Kanchipuram. We are halfway through. Let's go to Kanchipuram. We go to Varadaraja temple. In front of Varadaraja, I'll initiate you. Or else let's go to Srirangam. In front of Sriranganath, I'll initiate you. At that point of time, this is an important point. At that point of time, Ramanujacharya said, let's sit down here and you please initiate me. Middle of nowhere. Middle of nowhere. We are all waiting for, Vyasa Puja. We are waiting for Janmashtami. We are waiting for our anniversary day, birthday to get initiated. Right? That means we are waiting means what? We know that we are going to live until that point. We have become Brahmaji. We know our future. I'll be waiting one more year. Next year I'll get initiated. That means, you know the story, right? I'm going to go to sidetrack a little bit. Come back here. One time what happened? One Brahmana comes and talk to Yudhishthira Maharaj, Mahabharatam. One Brahmana comes and asks Yudhishthira Maharaj, and Yudhishthira Maharaj said, why don't, it's all closed now. I'm tired. I'm going to go back. And then tomorrow morning you come and I'll give you whatever you want. And the Brahmana goes and Yudhishthira Maharaj goes. He sleeps. In the morning, he hears a lot of trumpets and bugles, and it was a festival time. It's an ordinary day. But it was, the whole city was decorated very nicely. All these beautiful flowers were arranged. He was wondering, what day is today? It's not any special day today. What's happening here? He called he called Bhima. Bhima, what's going on here? And Bhima told to Yudhishthira Maharaj, we are very fortunate to have a brother like you who can speak about who knows about the future. And Yudhishthira Maharaj did not understand, what are you talking? What future I know? I don't know anything. Well, if you don't know anything, how can you tell that Brahmana to come today? You didn't address him yesterday. That means, you're going to live for until tomorrow. That means you are great God. He was just taunting Yudhishthira Maharaj in that way. Likewise, we are also thinking that I will get initiated by next year, in 2 more years, in 6 months' time, when all those things. What is the guarantee in life for us that we can wait for that long? We don't have any guarantee. Therefore, we learn from Ramanujacharya. He said, already lost one delayed by wanting to get initiated from Yamunacharya. It's an unfortunate situation. He passed away. Now I don't want to delay. And second time, it's been second chance. Please initiate me right now here in this spot. This is an important lesson. How serious we should be. We have to take up spiritual life in our thing. So that's another thing. Now, how many of you know the sloka? Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam saranam vraja ham tva sarva papebhya mokshayishyami masuchaga. We are all pandits in that sloka by now. Everyone knows the sloka, and we can give class for hours together. That's how we are. But here's the interesting point. Ramanujacharya, to learn this one sloka, it was being instructed that you please go and learn this particular sloka, this Charma sloka, by Tiruvaranga Perumal. There's another disciple of Alavanda. Alavanda is Yamunacharya. You have to go learn this particular sloka from him. What is the big deal? Our Sunday school teaches this sloka in 5 minutes. Why you have to go to that person to learn sloka? That sloka of Sarvadharman Parityaja Mamekam Sarnavraja Ham Tva Sarva Papebhya Mokshayishyami Masochaga is called Charma Slokam. Charma means the essence of Bhagavad Gita. And it has such a depth of knowledge and information that it cannot be easily learnt by anyone. It's a secret mantra actually. The sloka is considered to be a mantra in Sri Sampradaya. There are, like how we get initiated, Gayatri mantra, there are 7 mantras we get initiated, right? In Sri Sampradaya, when they get Samashrenam means they have any Shankha Chakra, they will do a Shankha Chakra on your shoulder, and they give this 3 mantra. Out of this 3 mantra, 1 mantra is, to our surprise, it is Charma Shlokam. This, it's not spoken out. We should not be speaking these things openly, but that's one of the mantra is being told. The other mantras should be heard from the gurus. So therefore, it was not easy for him to learn this mantra. He was going to again and again and again to the door of the Acharya for 6 months. And he said, I'll teach you tomorrow. I'll teach you tomorrow. One sloka out of 700 slokas. What's your problem to teach me the sloka? He didn't say this one. He was going again and again and again and again to learn this one sloka. Finally, he learned from his guru, the Charma Slokam. And he learned the Charma Slokam. The guru told, Periyanambigal told, remember, it's a secret matter. You should not be telling the Charma Sloka to anyone and everyone. Don't give a presentation of Charma Sloka like that openly. Remember that. It's not good. Did you get it? Ramanujacharya said yes. But what he did was, after he learned everything, he went and opened the message to anyone who's interested, not just like that to anyone and everyone. He called for people who are interested to learn the secrets of Charma Sloka, and he told this Charma Sloka to people. At that point of time, Periyanambigal comes to know about this one. He got upset. Guru got upset. And then he said, how can you do this one? You didn't follow Guru instruction. You know what you're going to get? You'll go to hell by doing this one. And then Ramanujacharya said, yes, I shouldn't have done this one. I shouldn't have disobeyed your order, my dear Guru. But if my destination is to go to hell, I'm happy to save hundreds and thousands of people by teaching this one. Let me go to hell. Let them all get liberated. And at that point of time, Periyanambigal told, you are such a great person. You are a magnanimous person. You're a great person. Therefore, from today, your name will be Emperumanar. Emperumanar means who is greater than God himself. Emperumanar, greater than, is another name for Ramanujacharya. Greater than God himself. There is one lady. Listen, we are moving on to the seventh story. I can't lost track of the stories, numbers. Yeah, 8th story. Now, there was people around in that place where they're not happy about Ramanujacharya's philosophy. And they thought that he is just ruining their philosophy and changing everything. Therefore, they want to somehow or the other kill Ramanujacharya. Kill Ramanujacharya. Therefore, they appointed one lady. Ramanujacharya goes door to door, ask for bhiksham, get the dry ingredients and come and offer and do all those things. So as he was going door to door, there's one home he came, and as per the plan, that lady has been told to poison the food and give to Ramanujacharya. And that lady was not at all inclined to do this one. Somehow, whatever the reasons are, we don't know the details. But then she was not happy. But then she was going to give the poisoned food to Ramanujacharya. But she was hesitating, and Ramanujacharya could see from her eyes there's something not right. He could figure out something is not right. So he took the food, threw the food into the ocean or land. He didn't take it. At that point of time, this is another beautiful, the poison thing is not a big thing for us. Now comes the story of lesson that we have to learn. When this message is been heard by Periyanambigal, one of his guru, he comes straight to the spot over there. And as soon as he saw the guru, Ramanujacharya fell flat, Dandavat Pranam. He just fell flat in front of his guru. As per the tradition of how we have to offer our obeisance to guru is this thing. We have to fall flat, number one. When you are falling flat, your hands, your legs, and your head should touch the ground. It's not like this you have to fall or something like that. You have to touch completely down. When you're doing this, when the entire body is touching the ground, your mind, your ego, or your intelligence, everything should be focused on the lotus feet of the guru. Saintly person. That is called Dandavat. You cannot simply send an email saying Dandavat Prabhuji and not understanding what the Dandavat means. Really, Dandavat means, Prabhu, I'm falling at your feet with my mind, with my body, with my mind, my intelligence, my ego, everything is surrendered at your feet. Prabhuji, please accept my obeisance. That is what Dandavat means. Now, what we are putting an automated header and footer. content will be in center. When you send, automatically the two of the things get added. I don't think the devotees are doing that, but that's an option. If you want to do, follow that. But anyway, when you are doing Dandavati, there's another second important thing to it. You cannot get up unless and until Guru tells you to get up. Serious, it's not. See, that is what Dandavat means. Dandavat means when a stick, Dandam means what? Stick. When the stick falls, can the stick get up by itself? Someone has to take the stick back. That means when we are falling at the feet of a Guru, unless and until Guru tells get up, you should not supposed to get up. That's how the tradition were those days. Now we changed everything. You do like this, a touch like this. All Rajinikanth, Chiranjeevi style we are doing. All those things. Not like that. What happened was, when Ramanujacharya, at that particular time, when Ramanujacharya fell at the feet of his Guru, that time it was a hot summer time on a street, burning hot. In India, especially on the southern India, it's very hot. Imagine such a beautiful, we will just describe the body of the Acharya, Ramanujacharya was such a soft, tender body. His body was on the scorching heat on the ground. And Periya Nambigal did not say him to get up. Did not tell him to get up. At that point of time, there's another student of Ramanujacharya, Kidambi Achan. His name was Kidambi Achan. He was a student of Ramanujacharya. He could not bear a moment of what his Guru was going through. Therefore, he immediately pulled him up. He said, with great respect, sir, how can you do this to him? How can you do this to him? At that point of time, Periya Nambigal said, you are going to be his cook from today onwards. Why? It is not safe for Ramanujacharya to go door to door, because now you have so many enemies over here. They're trying to kill him, give him poison. I don't want my disciple Ramanujacharya to go through this one. I was trying to find a right person who can take care of my disciple Ramanujacharya, to feed him nicely, and you care for his body. Therefore, you are the one going to cook for him from today onwards, appointed service. How can we understand these things? When a great sages does things, we think, look at it, so cruel to his disciple, is torturing him. But his intention was not to punish him. He was trying to find a right person who can serve Ramanujacharya, to take care of Ramanujacharya's need, serving him to prasadam. Therefore, as a disciple, Guru's responsibility is to take care of devotees. Guru's responsibility is to take care of disciples' atma. Whereas disciples' responsibility to take care of Guru's body. Disciples should not, I will take care of my Guru's Atma. Who are you to take care? His Guru has to take care of our Atmas, whereas we have to take care of Guru's transcendental body. That is why when Guru comes, we take care of his needs, necessities, and provide him nicely and take care of whatever is needed. It's an opportunity for us, because we have no Krishna in front of us to serve Krishna. Therefore, Guru is here to serve our Guru. Guru may tell, I like this one, I don't like this one. Krishna will never say any of this thing. That's a problem with Krishna. For Krishna, we keep whatever we like until that's a prasadam. Right? Whereas when Guru comes, Guru tells, he gives a list of the things, what he will eat, what he will not eat. Done deal. Therefore, it's much better to serve Guru directly. He expresses what he likes, what he doesn't like. Therefore, it's important to understand that we are here as a disciple to serve Guru and take care of Guru's body as long as he is in this world. And going on to the ninth story. There was a great scholar by, his name is Yajnamurti. Such a scholar, but he was from the school of thought of Mayavada philosophy. You all know Mayavada philosophy, what it means, but everything is Maya. There's only one absolute truth. Everything is Maya. You are Maya, that is Maya, my wife is Maya, my children is Maya, the salary I'm getting is also Maya, but you'll go and get salary. Everything is Maya, but truth is only one. He's coming from that school of thought. That is Advaita school of thought, by the way. Maya is also called as Mayavada philosophy. So Yajnamurti was defeating everyone and coming, and then he came to the place where Ramanujacharya was there, and then he was going to say that I'm going to debate with you. Are you ready? Ramanujacharya was also ready. The debate went for 70. You and I talk, Prem and I used to talk about different schools of thoughts. After half an hour, we'll have a nice tea and go to sleep. That's all we can talk. Our knowledge is limited. our energy is limited, everything is limited for us. But we every day we try to talk about, Advaita school of thought and what is bhakti, what is moksha. We talk all those things. We spend a lot of time for these 2 weeks. It was amazing time with the brothers, these two brothers. Right. Anyway, so 17 days, non-stop 17 days going about Ramanujacharya philosophy and Vishishta Advaita philosophy and Advaita philosophy going on. Finally, it was coming to a point where Yagnamurti was pretty much going to defeat Ramanujacharya. 17th day, 17 days. Ramanujacharya was not, he was exhausted. He was exhausted. Ramanujacharya Adishesha, by the way, he was exhausted. At that point of time, he surrendered to his deity, Krishna, and prayed, "My dear Krishna, if you want to save your philosophy, what you told as a Varadaraja, you have to do something. I am done. I cannot do anything with the scholar. I cannot defeat." At that point of time, the Lord comes into his dream, and he says, "You take Alavandar, your guru, Yamunacharya, Stotra Ratanam. Keep that as a basis and go and talk tomorrow." And then Ramanujacharya became very happy. As he was walking and coming, Yagnamurti understood he is no more the same Ramanujacharya, he is a different person. Immediately, Yagnamurti fell at the feet of Ramanujacharya. Because there's agreement, if you lose, I will become your disciple. Yagnamurti said, "I will become your disciple, I will follow your philosophy, Vishishtadvaita philosophy." And Ramanuja said, "If I lose, then I will stop preaching. I'll stop preaching." Now Yagnamurti fell at the feet of Ramanujacharya and told, "You don't need to speak anything. I am defeated already." But then Ramanujacharya said, "No. That's not the right thing to do. Let's stop." And the debate continued, and finally Yagnamurti got defeated. How much ever lesson for us, how much ever scholarly we may be studied all the verses of Bhagavatam, Isha Upanishad and Bhagavad Gita, we may be pandits of all these things and Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav and all these different things. But if we think we know everything and have that mamakara, ahankara to ourselves, God will teach us a lesson where they will be easily defeated, because we need to know the knowledge also comes from Krishna. The ability to speak is also coming from Krishna. The ability to think the right points and slokas and everything is also coming from Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishtaha. He says that I am the source of everything. I give the remembrance, I give the forgetfulness, I do everything, right? Krishna says in the 15.15 sloka, 15th chapter 15. Therefore, we should remember that Krishna give the ability to speak about you. It's because you I'm able to speak. It's because of you I'm able to remember everything, and that's a lesson we should know. Now Ramanujacharya travels to Tirumala. This is a 10th story. He travels to Tirumala. Tirumala is Tirupati Tirumala Devasthan. But Tirumala, you all know Tirupati, right? Tirupati is the town, and the mountain is called Tirumala. We have to go to Tirupati, that's a town, and then you have to go to the mountain, which is called Tirumala. Balaji temple on the mountain, Tirumala. That is Tirumala, this is Tirupati. Down is Tirupati. We generally call Tirupati, understanding that that's Tirupati. That's what we meant. What happened? Ramanujacharya is going to go to Tirupati. As he was going through with his disciples and everyone, he's going to go to Tirupati to meet his his uncle, maternal uncle, also his guru, Tirumalai Nambigal. As he was going, he stopped one farmer. He said, "How to go to Tirupati?" He asked a route, how to go to Tirupati. Right? That farmer, he gave, "Sir, this is the way that you have to go. You go another 120 miles. On the right side, you turn this one, then find a mountain. That's where Tirupati is." As soon as that's where the temple is. As soon as Ramanujacharya heard from this, farmer, immediately he fell at the feet of that farmer. Acharya, a great Acharya, falling at the feet of a farmer whom he doesn't even know. All the disciples were wondering, "What are you doing? What is he doing? What is he doing?" And then he got up and, "Thanks for showing the path to God." He said, "He is my guru because he showed me the path to go to Tirumala." That means he is great. Anyone who comes in our life, whatever little bit they might have done in our life, if they somehow they have even given a book of Bhagavad Gita, or invited them to come to our home to have attend the program, or whatever way, we should respect them and we have a gratitude towards them. They showed Krishna to us, somehow or the other. This is a very important thing, to have gratitude for those who have brought us into Krishna consciousness, or those who are all helping us in a Krishna consciousness. We have to be grateful to every devotee. It's not that one devotee, only that one devotee who's done the best thing, even a small thing, if he has done to you, given a little prasadam to you, came and dropped prasadam at your house and went, you have to be thankful to that person, grateful to that person. The heart which is not grateful is not going to get in anywhere out, right? So that's another lesson we learned from the small story that we have here. Now, Thirumalai Nambigal, whom the guru, that is 11th story, where he's going to meet. We are on track, by the way, don't worry, we'll be able to finish in half an hour. Thirumalai Nambigal, where Ramanujacharya is going to Tirupati, and he came to Tirupati down, and Thirumalai Nambigal, who already got the message that Ramanujacharya is coming, to understand, Thirumalai Nambigal is the guru of Ramanujacharya. Ramanujacharya came to Tirupati, and then he's going to, Tirumala is up, this guru is on the mountain hill. As soon as he heard this one, he came down to receive Ramanujacharya. He personally came down to receive Ramanujacharya. And Ramanujacharya asked Thirumalai Nambigal, why, sir, you have to come? Didn't you find any other of your new devotee? Why don't you find a new devotee who's a beginner to send them? I would have come with that person. At that point of time, Thirumalai Nambigal said, I couldn't find anyone else lower than myself. I couldn't find anyone else. Guru is telling, not disciple is speaking. Guru is, I couldn't find anyone else who's lower than myself. Therefore, I myself came to receive you. This is all we can hear as a simple stories and go out of the house, but we have to really think how these great souls were leading there. We give classes, we talk hours together about all this philosophy, but then are we living as per what we speak, what we hear, what we've been instructed, is a question that we all have to ask ourselves. We only can answer to ourselves. Yes, we have to touch our hearts and say, am I truthful to what I've been taught? Am I really being servant of servant of servant? Or I'm just putting your servant and then acting as master? Yes, we have to ask to ourselves. Humble servant, worthless servant, useless servant. These are the standard dialogues and signature we put when we write. But our behaviors will speak. Are we really meaning this, or you're just for the sake of formality you're doing this one? Therefore, we can understand Guru is talking that I am the lowest of anyone that I can be, so that I'm coming to serve you. This 11th thing that we learned from him. Now, Ramanujacharya, as is Kantimati is Ramanujacharya's mother. Kantimati had a younger sister. Younger sister, at the same time, she gave a birth. When Ramanujacharya was born, that another boy was born to Kantimati, Ramanujacharya's aunt. And that boy name was Govinda. But what happened was, Govinda somehow or the other got into a different bhakti program. He became a staunch Shiva worshipper. He became a strong Shiva worshipper, and he was praying and doing all those things. And again, that's a beautiful story that we are going to skip those things. We'll come to the message here. So what happened was, when Ramanujacharya was in Tirupati, it was time for him to depart. Ramanujacharya, it was a time for him to leave. When he was leaving, Thirumalai Nambigal wanted to give some gift to Ramanujacharya, send-off gift. He wanted to give some gift to Ramanujacharya. And then Ramanujacharya asked, my dear Ramanujacharya, what do you want? I want to give you something as you're leaving. I want to give you something as a gift. What do you want? We will ask banana, or banana bread, and all those things I want for my travel tomorrow. Make some nice khichdi and all those things. I'm not telling I need all those things for tomorrow. So Ramanujacharya said, I want Govinda Perumal, Govinda. Govinda was serving Tirumalai Nambigal. Govinda was a cousin of Ramanujacharya, but he was so attached to Tirumalai Nambigal, he was there serving Tirumalai Nambigal. Ramanujacharya, instead of asking of he wants chips, banana chips, and all those things, he was asking, I want Govinda. Right? And Tirumalai, we call Govinda, come here, go with Ramanuja, he's going on a yatra, go serve him. And Govinda said, yes, sir, I will go. Then Govinda went. They traveled all these places. Everyone having a nice yatra. You go to yatra, it's very nice. Yatra, they were nice. Except one person was always having a face like this. Who's that? Govinda. Everyone were happy. Govinda was also serving. But then Govinda's face was not happy. Ramanujacharya, Govinda, what's your problem? You didn't get today prasadam or what? He said, I'm missing my guru. I'm missing my guru. Immediately when Ramanujacharya heard this one, he called up two of his other disciples. He said, take Govinda, leave him back to Tirumalai Nambigal and come back. And at that point of time, Govinda's face became bright and happy. He fell at Ramanujacharya and they said, thank you. And very happy, he went back. Here is the problem. He went back over there. By then, the news already reached that Govinda is returning back to ashram. When the news was heard, Govinda went to the Guru's ashram, door was closed. The door did not open. He said, what happened? Is Guru out of town? Or? No, he's inside. Why is it not opening? He doesn't want to look at your face. He doesn't want to look at your face. And then finally, he opens the door. He said, what are you doing here? Govinda said, my dear Guru, I cannot tolerate the separation from you, so that somehow Ramanuja found out that I am in your separation. He sent me to you, back to you. He's great. Ramanuja is great. He may be great, but I am not. I already sold you out to Ramanuja. It's a very important message for all of us. I already sold you out to Ramanuja. I cannot accept you any further. Go back and serve Ramanuja. Serve Ramanuja. Many times, what we want to do in our life as practicing devotees, we want to do that service which we like to do service. We pick up those service that only that we like. Right? You've been say you're cooking. You like to cook. One fine day, I'm calling you, someone, the temple president, Ramanujacharya, someone is calling you, Adi Shakti Mataji, you're cooking. Why don't you come and make some garlands? And you said, Prabhu, I cannot do garland. Garland, I cannot do. I can do this. Or for something, this is an easy example. Maybe we will agree to garland, we'll agree. That's all simple example. Say you are a temple president. That will be a height example. You're a temple president. You've been respected by everyone. And then for whatever reason, the leader of like some guru, some great person is coming, telling, Prabhu, tomorrow, I want you to resign the temple president position and please take care of the maintenance of the temple. Someone is coming and tell. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? We don't know. Govinda. Initially, he was attached to his guru. Now Guru is telling, do what I like to do, not that what you like to do. That's the point here. As a disciple, we have to do service what Guru wants us to do. As a devotee, we have to serve to the authority of the temple rather than what I want to do. Prabhu, this is my service I like to do. This is what I like to do. If I don't do this one, it's very difficult for me. Please allow me to do this one. Where the need of your service somewhere else. The temple authority knows where the resources is really needed. Accordingly, it will be disposed to do this service, change resources here and there. The management and the temple authority and guru, they know where there's a need of the service. So therefore, they have to do this. So we simply, at that point of time, we exhibit that servant of servant. That is when the test comes in our life. Govinda said, yes, sir. And he went back to Ramanujacharya again. Story number 13. Govinda story again. Govinda, when he went back to Ramanujacharya, this is 13th story. When he went back to Ramanujacharya, and then he learned from Ramanujacharya. He was doing such a wonderful service, deity service. He's a top ranker, top in the BBT. He was top bookseller. His name was first Govindas. Sold 10,000 Bhagavatam, 100,000 hard copy of Bhagavad Gita. His name on the top. And the next, deity worship, best as per the deity ministry. Everything is perfect. Everything was so nicely he was doing. So people, other devotees and everyone started praising Govinda. They started praising Govinda. Govinda, you're a wonderful devotee, you're great, you're doing such a nice service, and etc. etc. They're praising everything. Govinda said, yes. Govinda said, yes, yes, I do. Yes. Yeah, 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 yeah. He was telling everything for everything. He was telling yes, yes, yes. If I come and tell you, Sunny, you are in St. Louis, don't know anyone else other than you as a great singer. You are the best. Your voice is like a cuckoo birds, and when you sing it, you attract the heart. My heart, dances. I'm going to tell all this thing. You are the best singer, Sunny. What did you do now? You said like this, right? You didn't want to take the appreciation? Ah, exactly. You said you are not the best singer? Okay. Whereas Govinda said, for everything that people are praising him, he said, yes, 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 yes. Ramanujacharya watched that. As a devotee, when someone is glorifying you, you should not take glorification. Govinda, what happened to you? What happened to you? You didn't read Bhagavad Gita, you didn't hear my teachings. People are praising you, you're happily sitting and hearing. What's going on with you, man? What's going on? At that time, this is an important point. Govinda says, my dear sir, I was somewhere, Kalahasti. He was in Kalahasti, where Lord Shiva's place was. I was in Kalahasti following something or the other. Right? You pull me out of that place, brought me into our Sampradaya. You taught me what is the right thing. You gave me the knowledge. You gave me the service. You did everything for me. Whatever I'm speaking, whatever I'm doing, everything is because of your mercy. Therefore, whatever people are glorifying is not me, it's actually yours. If I say no, that means I'm denying my Guru's power. Are you getting what I'm trying to say here? If I'm coming and telling, Prabhu, no, Prabhu, no, Prabhu, that means you're telling your Guru did not tell you, give his mercy upon you at all. That's what it is. Your Guru is a useless Guru. Therefore, you're useless. Where if I say that, Prabhu, you're such a Kripamaya Prabhu, your class was fantastic class. What will Kripamaya Prabhu says? All glories to Guru Maharaj. Yes? All glories to Prabhupada. That is what's called Satvika Ahankar. Satvika Ahankar means when someone is glorifying us, it's a true glorification, by the way. It's a true glorification. If it's a true glorification, we simply accept it, but not take it to ourselves, pass on to the Guru Parampara. And that is what when Govinda said this one, Ramanujacharya embraced him. Embraced him. This is a very difficult thing to do. But this is what the devotees, this is how the devotees applies when glorification comes into them. Story number 13. Let's quickly move on to the next one. I'm going to skip one of the story, which is very philosophy. So we'll move to the next one. Now, Periyan Nambigal, who left. Yeah. I think this is also we covered. We'll move on to the next story. Ramanujacharya. Okay, I'm going to skip the story also. Okay, this is nice. We'll go to this story. I'm not missing a lot of stories, only one or few stories, but we'll do that later. Ramanujacharya traveled to a place called Thiruvananthapuram. Thiruvananthapuram, where he was there at that point of time, as usual. The people in the Thiruvananthapuram, they were thinking that Ramanujacharya is a threat for them. So they decided to kill Ramanujacharya. Many people tried to kill Ramanujacharya, by the way. including Yadav Prakasha, was the first guru. He was also trying to kill him. But Yadav Prakasha became a disciple later. Anyway, so he was in Thiruvananthapuram, which was in Kerala. So those people plotted that we have to kill Ramanujacharya. Somehow or the other, what happened? Ramanujacharya went to sleep in Thiruvananthapuram. When he got up, he found that he was not in Thiruvananthapuram, he was in another place. It's a miracle. He was not in that place, he was transferred. The Lord Ananta Padmanabha in Thiruvananthapuram, where he was there, he himself, the Lord himself transferred him from here to that place. And then Ramanujacharya got up and said, what is this? I was there and I am here. What is this? What happened? He was here. He was calling one of his disciple. He called his disciple, and the disciple came. He said, yes, sir. Hey, how come we are here? We were in the other place last night. How did we come here? I don't know. I'm just surprised what happened. I don't know. Some miracle happened. Okay, I'm not sure. They were talking like this. And then this disciple was serving the guru nicely. And one day, somewhat little differently, what happened? This disciple comes to Ramanujacharya and said, my dear sir, could you apply tilak for me? Usually disciple will not go and ask guru, apply tilak for me. It was an awkward for Ramanujacharya, but this disciple comes and, can you please apply tilak for me? Ramanujacharya did not say anything. He applied tilak on his body and his forehead and everything. And then disciple also went to do his service. And Ramanujacharya goes to the temple, the close by Vishnu temple. When he went there, he was offering his prayer. He noticed on the beautiful face of the Lord, the tilak was still wet. He was amazed. What? How was the tilak of the Lord is still wet? Then he could understand all those days who was serving Ramanujacharya was the Lord himself. The Lord himself transferred him from there to here, and here the Lord was serving him. It's amazing. Amazing. That means Bhakta Vatsala. Bhakta Vatsala means when the Lord is so much so that he himself becomes a devotee of his devotee. Devotee of his devotee. That is a thing that we can learn from here. Now what happened? Here's another important story where at one point of time in the Thiruvananthapuram, this has happened in Thiruvananthapuram. Yeah, it just happened in Thiruvananthapuram. Anyway, so at one point of time, the Lord Ramanujacharya, while he was serving the deity, Tirukurungudi, exactly, yeah, Tirukurungudi. In Tirukurungudi, there the Lord was, Ramanuja was over there. At that point of time, the Lord spoke to Ramanujacharya, Ramanuja, when you teach, people are listening. When I teach, no one is listening. There's only one man was standing when I was speaking. I don't even know whether how much he understood, how much he followed. Who's that? Arjuna. When I speak, no one wants to take what I speak. But then when you speak, so many people are listening. How is that? And at point of time, Ramanujacharya said, my dear sir, my dear Lord, what did you say when you give instruction? How do you give instruction? Well, I am Aham Ishvara. Aham Parameshwara. I am Uttama Purusha. Purushottama. I am sun. I am moon. I am Indra. I am Varuna. I am Rudra. I am this. I am that. I am that. I am everything. And Ramanujacharya said, that is a problem. That's where the problem is. That's why no one comes to Krishna temple, to you. Why? That's a fact. I am everything. That is true. What you're saying is you are everything. But if people doesn't like if oneself glorifies. If you glorify yourself, how many, if I glorify Shanta Mataji, if I glorify you, you will sit and hear nicely. If I glorify myself in front of you, you will go to sleep. Everyone like to hear about their own glorification. No one want to like someone else being glorified. No, it burns. You will get someone tummy is bothering us. If you don't, if someone is getting glorified nicely, you'll have some uneasiness in your tummy and your, something will all happen for us. That's our human nature, unfortunately. Therefore, Ramanujacharya said, people generally don't like anyone who's self-glorifying. They don't like. Okay, so what to do? Krishna is saying what to do. I'll teach you, Krishna, what I do. So you become my disciple, I will be a guru to teach you. So the Lord became a disciple of Ramanujacharya, and he was sitting down, Ramanujacharya sitting on the asana, and then telling, my dear Lord, he gave, in other words, he told that when I speak, I don't tell I am so and so, I tell Krishna is Paramatma, Krishna is Ishvara, Krishna is Surya, Krishna is Chandra, Krishna is Nakshatra, Krishna is Rudra. I'm not telling I am so and so. I'm telling you are great. When I say you are great, people are listening. That's a simple thing. And in that way, the Lord himself became a disciple of Ramanujacharya. Lord himself became a disciple of Ramanujacharya in this particular thing. There's a beautiful story, very important story, where when Ramanujacharya was traveling, there was one Brahmana's wife, and all the disciples were coming. And then when they came, Ramanujacharya was also in the whole thing. Ramanujacharya was also there, and they came to this hut, in this house, and there was a wife of a Brahmana, and the wife of such a nice person, very nice lady. She said, all the Vaishnavas are come here, and would you please come and have food? I'm going to cook for you. Please come and eat food at my house. I'll make food. And all the disciples said, no, no, we don't eat anywhere else. We don't eat anywhere outside. We don't eat outside. And she said, no, 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 no. I'll make sure according to your requirement. Whatever you say, I'll make according to you. No, no, we don't take anywhere else. No, no, please tell. I am also initiated. Huh? You're also initiated? Who's your guru? Ramanujacharya. She said, Ramanujacharya is my. How did you get initiated to Ramanujacharya? By the way, in this whole group of Vaishnavas, Ramanujacharya was also standing there. But the thing is, he been moved out of Srirangam because there one incident happened. Ramanujacharya have to quit Srirangam and go to Melkotai. Melkotai is in Karnataka, which is from Bangalore, 2.5, 3 hours drive. Beautiful place there. And in Melkotai, Ramanujacharya stayed in Melkotai for several years, 12 years. He stayed in Tirtha, and many things happened in Melkotai. I'm going to tell two stories from Melkotai. So as he was coming over here, he came to this lady's house. Over there, what happened? When I came to Srirangam, she said, I was in Srirangam. At that point of time, I was serving Ramanujacharya. Ramanujacharya goes door to door and he begs and comes. At point of time, I asked many, many questions to Ramanujacharya, and he told me the truth of life and everything, how I have to get initiated. And I got initiated, Samashanam, I got initiated. And it was a time for me to leave my house and come to my hometown. At the time, I asked Ramanujacharya, what should I do? He said, follow whatever I told you, and here is some gift I'm going to give you. He gave his padukas to me. He gave his sandal, shoes to me. And I brought it, and it's my puja room. And therefore, please allow me to cook for you. And Ramanujacharya was listening everything. He gave a signal through his eyes, let it be. And then disciples said, okay, go and cook. And then Ramanujacharya said, watch how she is preparing everything to his disciple. And she went inside, prepared everything nicely, clean, not like this and cooking, cutting and everything. None of these things happens while cooking. It's clean cooking. Okay. For us, what is very tasty is, I shouldn't say this, but that which is tasty is not prepared. Suchi and ruchi, that's one important thing. If it is too tasty, then the cleanliness would be compromised. Right? If there is no taste, that means standard has been followed most of the time, because those who are following the standard and cooking, somehow or the other, less salt will be there, spice will be somehow or the other, here and there something will go shortage. You can't expect the food that is cooked nicely to be very, very up to the mark. If it is everything up to the mark, that means all those things would have happened, right? And anyway, so he was watching. The disciples were watching how she's cooking. She cooked everything nicely, and she went to the puja room, and she offered, and then she brought it. And she was at the time. By the time the disciples came and said to Ramanujacharya, what was she doing? Ramanujacharya was asking, what was she doing? Everything perfect. But then she went inside, and there was something we couldn't figure out. In front of something, she was offering the food. We don't know what that is. We couldn't understand what that is. Okay, no, don't worry. And she came out. And then Ramanujacharya asked this question. She don't know that is Ramanujacharya yet. What were you doing inside the puja room? My dear sir, I was offering the food. But okay, to whom you offered? And she brought, can you bring to whomever you offered, the deity? Can you bring the deity outside? We want to see whom you offered to. We want to make sure you offer to Krishna, Vishnu, not to some devata and demigod. So can you please bring out whatever the deity that you offer, bring that out, that you're worshipping every day. And she goes and brings out, that is Paduka of Ramanujacharya. For her, the deity is the Paduka of her Acharya. This is where I offer every day, my Lord. And Ramanujacharya said, can you identify if this particular Paduka fits any one of us? And she's going around and looking at every devotee's feet. And she's not carrying and measuring and doing all the things. With her eyesight, she was just looking. And finally, to come to one particular feet, she said, this is exactly my Padukas that I got from Ramanujacharya. And she looked at the face, that is Ramanujacharya. And the reason she couldn't identify Ramanujacharya was he was wearing a white cloth. Again, the story has been skipped. In between story, I skipped. Sannyasi should wear a saffron cloth. He was wearing a white cloth. So she thought it's one of the devotees of Ramanujacharya. Therefore, for us, we should understand it is the lotus feet. And there's no wrong in calling Acharya's, Guru's feet as a lotus feet. It's lotus feet of the Acharya is the only shelter for us to attain Krishna. There's no other mean. Okay. Almost we are coming to a closure here. Melkote story. One of this second Melkote story. This is also Melkote story. In Melkote, at that point in Mysore, close to Mysore, the Mysore Melkote is all close by areas. There were a lot of Jain people, Jainism. Jainism was so prominent over there at that point of time. Jainism. Digambaras. There are two categories of Jainism. One is called Digambaras, where they will not wear anything. Completely naked. They will not wear dress at all. Men and women, both. Without it, that is their philosophy. You have to nirvana. You have to come. Vana means body. Nirvana means without body. They will have without dress. They want to be detached from anything. When you drag, what happened when you wear a dress? So you want to wear nicely like this. And then all the pallu should look in the front. And we try to concentrate more on all those things, right? So why to waste time on those things? Therefore, no dress. Nothing. Complete naked. That's how they've been. That is the way of attaining moksha according to their philosophy. A lot of people were there at that point of time. And Ramanujacharya went to Melkote, went to these people, and day and night and weeks and months, he was trying to preach and try to understand these people. This is not necessary for you. You can have Kanchipuram silk or I'm forgetting the whatever name. All these different saris and what is this sari? Tell me. You know what I'm trying to say. Go ahead, tell. Huh?
Narasari.
Pochampally.
Who said that?
Rukmini.
Pochampally and Kanchipuram silk and China silk, all the different things. You have nice dress. Why don't you wear nice dress, nice dhoti, dress up nicely? Why don't you come to temple and worship? They said, no dress. We don't like any of those dresses. We will not wear any dresses. Ramanujacharya, after trying several, Ramanujacharya, can you turn on this light, please? Someone turned off the light. So Ramanujacharya tried how much ever you preach, these people doesn't want to change. At that point of time, Ramanujacharya understood, okay, I give up. I should not speak. There's only one thing I'm going to do. What happens is Kaveri, that in that area, the river goes on that same area at that point of time. It's already 8 o'clock. Okay, we'll wrap up very soon. So what happens? The river passes at that time. And in those days, even now they do is, the river is a nice place where people take bath, people wash their clothes, people wash their donkeys, people wash whatever. River is because it's running water. It's not contaminated. It's running water. But what they do is, one spot they will wash, at another spot they will take bath, another spot where they clean the vessels and wash the cow, all these animals. It's a different spots. So Ramanujara called one of his disciples, Mudalai Anda. He called his disciple. He said, "You come here." He said, "Yes, sir. Go to the river today and put your feet on that river for some time and come back where people, but don't go to the spot where people take bath. Go little before that spot and then put your feet over there and come back here." Guru orders, you should not ask question, why Maharaj? Why should I do this, Maharaj? You should not ask this question. You do means you just do. Therefore, even though didn't understand why he has to do, but he accepted the instruction. He went there, he put his feet on the water, stayed there for some time. He came back and said, "Yes, Maharaj, I did this one." And then they went back. Next day morning, when the doors of the Ramanujacharya ashram opened, and to everyone's surprise, all the Digambaras were fully dressed up with jeans, pants, silk saris, Pochambali dress, everyone fully dressed up. And they said, "Please accept us as your disciple." And everyone was shocked. Ramanujacharya was trying to preach to these people for days together. No one was ready to hear what happened overnight. Ramanujacharya was telling, "I will tell you what happened. You went there, put your feet there. It was the water that washed your feet is where they took shower, which purified them. It is your path, a tirtha, which Ramanujacharya did not take credit. I will go put my feet over there." Look, can you understand? The guru is a real guru who he tried to glorify, who tried to give credit to his disciple, bring the disciple grow in their Krishna consciousness. Not that they want to become famous and have hundreds and thousands of followers. Look at Ramanujacharya greatness, magnanimous that he would have done easily. Rather, he said, "You go as my disciple, you go." That means what? When Ramanujacharya disciple can purify hundreds and thousands of people, then what to speak about Ramanujacharya? That shows his greatness then. He can change the whole world, purify the whole world. Therefore, the Pada Tirtha, the dust from the feet of the devotees, is one which purifies our consciousness. We should not take this as a simple story. We take it as a serious story. Therefore, the stories can continue. We can go on with the stories, but tomorrow is a working day for every one of us. We covered maximum stories here, by the way. Almost I get 18, 20 stories has been covered over here. Therefore, thank you all very much for joining today to hear the great Acharya. There are three Acharyas, Adi Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya. Every other, the schools of thought that we have today is just an offshoot of these three sampradayas. Every matam that we have now, including Brahma, Vaishnava, Gaudiya Sampradaya that we follow on, everything is an offshoot of these three main sampradayas, Ramanuja, Madhva, Adi Shankaracharya. Therefore, we have to be very grateful and thankful to these three acharyas. If they have not done what they have done, we would not be sitting and speaking all this thing today. And one last thing I want to tell. It was Ramanujacharya, the one who broke the system of constrained things of many things, broke open to the world. He is the one who broke that. Moksha is not only for Brahmanas. Moksha is not only for sannyasis. Moksha is for everyone who have a desire to attain Krishna. He is the first one who took the step, brave step. And later, that was expanded and extended by many, many great acharyas. Like Prabhupada took that out of India and brought to the world. But it was Ramanujacharya who broke the system in a nicer way. By when I say broke the system, he broke that for the betterment. Everyone can attain moksha. Not only those certain people of India, certain caste who can attain moksha. Therefore, Ramanujacharya ki jai. Thank you all very much. We are on time. Okay. We'll see if there is anything to ask questions or anything. Anyone have any questions or discussion? Yes. Raman, what happened? This is called the traditional Varnashrama system. In traditional Varnashrama system, if you're very caste oriented, Then there are ideas comes that he's low caste, he's higher caste, and you untouchable, and all those different things comes into thing. Ramanujacharya is born in a high class Brahmin family. Like his wife also was born in a high class Brahmin family. Whereas Kanchipurna was a Vaishya. Therefore, Ramanujacharya's wife thought that he is from a lower caste. Therefore, as he came, he fed her and everything, but then she didn't take, she did, because Vaishnavas are beyond the caste. She didn't see him as a great Vaishnava, she saw him as a Vaishya. That's where the problem is. Thank you. Anything else? Selvanaraya Perumal. Yeah. Yeah, the temple was already there. During the Mahal period, what happened was the Selvanarayana Perumal is beautiful. The deity is so very beautiful. And then what happened was the deity was taken away by the Mahal king. And it's been taken away, and then it was in Delhi that time. And then the Lord Ramanujacharya wants to establish a deity worship, and the deity was missing. He came to know that it's been taken by one of the Muslim king, Mughal king, and the deity is somewhere in Delhi. Therefore, he went over there and he personally spoke to the king over there. Please, we are like this. We have come. We know that you've taken a lot of deities from many places, but please give this one particular deity to us. And then the king was very kind enough, and then he said, "I don't know which your deities are. We have taken many deities. Here is a good one. Pick over whichever the deity is, you go and take it." And Ramanujacharya has not seen this deity before. Therefore, Ramanujacharya, as soon as he went there, he called, "Selva Perumal, come out." He called out the Lord, right? And the Lord started walking behind him. He started walking behind him. And then when he was walking, here is another thing. But there was one person who was not happy about it. The king, the Mughal king's daughter, was so attached to this particular deity, Muslim. She was so attached, she was in love with this deity. Like we saw the story of Andal. She was also in love with this particular deity. As Ramanujacharya took the deity, she followed Ramanujacharya. And then she was so much so, finally, the Lord married this king's daughter. She merged into the deity. She's called Tulka Nachiyar. Tulka Nachiyar. Tulka means in Tamil, they call, the Muslims are called Tulkas. Tulka Nachiyar. So Tulka Nachiyar, that's a temple also for her. They had a motive and they do worship of her. Can you imagine? So grace. Selva Narayana. Melkote. My dear Lord, like whatever you call. Any other questions? Online, anything more? Okay, if there's no other questions, thank you all for joining today. One more time, Ramanujacharya ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dandavat pranam.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank
Hare
you for nice cover.
Hare
Thank you,
Dandavat
Prabhuji.
Prabhu.
Thank you.
Dandavat pranam. Hare Krishna.